What's up, AtoZSports live on a Tuesday. Have a lot to talk about because there was some more news in the NFL yesterday. Another Brian bites the dust. If your name is Brian and you're a head coach in the NFL, watch out. There's two down and maybe I don't know if there's another one to go. But we're going to have a good show discussing Brian Daboll being fired by the New York Football Giants, and how the dominoes could fall after that and what it means for the potential Titans head coaching search and Cam Ward. And not just the Titans head coaching job, but Brian Daboll's next stop, Titans offensive coordinator. We'll discuss that. Easton, you wrote a little bit about the bromance between Cam Ward and Brian Daboll in the draft process. And the Giants very much still tried to get Cam Ward at the very, very last moment. So we'll discuss all of these dominoes and what that means. Do we like the ideas that we're going to present today? Does a box get checked that we did not expect to get checked necessarily for the Titans head coaching search? And then we will get an Easton freeze update on that situation as well. So throwing shade at the end of the show, we have a special version of throwing shade, and I'll tell you more about that. So I'm just going to continue to tease many things in this cold open. But Easton, welcome in. Hope you're feeling a little bit toastier than you had been yesterday. Let's get this thing off and rolling. What's up?
I am feeling toastier. You're right that it is a nightmare time to be a Brian in the NFL. And it was just a timing inconvenience on the Heat yesterday. The solution was quite simple. I just was not qualified to.
And so this was a less cold open. I like that.
Nailed it. It is a less cold open. Another intrusive thought of mine this morning. New feature on StreamYard. Have you noticed this, Austin? Every time somebody comments with something that ends in a question mark, otherwise known as a question, it marks it with a little question mark. Do you see that on the side there? So now when we have people ask questions, we can see which ones are questions. Like
what the hell are you talking about?
Go to Titans Kyle or Nick Ewing.
I do see it.
See that?
Oh.
How about that?
Huh.
So that'll be useful in the future for when people have questions.
Okay.
We now know what the questions are, not just random rambling. So we'll keep that in the back pocket. We'll find a way to use that.
I mean, Bork is a hot. Yeah. Okay. Now people are just going to be spamming questions. Easton, you can't take these things live. You got to keep them to ourselves.
No, it's fine. Hey, their memory, they'll forget by the middle of the show. Don't even worry.
No, they're not. It's too late.
Anyways, good morning. I am Warmer. Austin, we're going to talk a minute about why you're got an M in your middle name or your username. It's not your middle name. I don't know. We need people to like the show before we get into the various important things that you can tell that we have on the agenda today. We are going to talk about some Titans coaching search changes that were affected by the Giants and the Maras deciding to pull the plug yesterday. A lot to dive into, both serious and unserious. And then, as Austin said, a special edition at the end of the show of Throwing Shade that you will want to stick around for. Of course, you always want to stick around for shade, but this one, you might get something out of it. So stick around for that, and we need you to like the show here at the top. That's the number one thing. Hit that like button on Facebook, on YouTube. It is extremely easy. It's extremely free. It is extremely helpful to us. So like the show and then jump into the comments. We want to hear your thoughts, or if you have an actual question, something that ends in a question mark. So there we go, Austin. Let's get it started.
We're getting a lot of I'm Ron Burgundy's going on today
in
the chat. But let's get it going officially. Welcome to AtoZSports here live on this Tuesday. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Easton Freeze. We are powered, as always, by the BTA Sports app. We go live every weekday morning at 8:10 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. And again, follow us on Google as I paste the Google preference link to follow AtoZSports in the chat there. That goes a long way for us. Seriously, if you like what we do here, if you want to see our Titans content, whenever you Google search Titans and you want A to Z to show up as a preferred search results, hit that link right there and follow us on Google. That's a new thing that they're doing.
That's important, by the way. This is not just one of the charity asks where we're like the show. It means nothing for you, but it means a lot for us. No, this one means something for you. It will curate your content in a way that is better for you.
And that's what the whole point is, trying to get content better for you. That's the idea. But also I have to thank our sponsors because they actually help us out and you out as well, because we pick and have great partners. Wilson County Hyundai, make them a part of your new car buying process. See them in Lebanon or online WilsonCountyHyundai.com, the Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. The Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care, boneandjointtn.org. We've got the Botero Carts. The Life is Short, buy a golf cart. You get 2 locations in the Middle Tennessee area at Gallatin and Columbia. And Window Nation, you get 50% off all window styles and could get up to 5 years at 0% financing. Your free estimate, windownation.com.
Chat, did Austin just read Bone and Joint twice in a row?
No, I said Botero. Barton Drury. I don't know.
Chat, pretty sure we read Bone and Joint.
Did I not do Barton? Did I not do Barton Drury?
I don't think so.
Did I do Bone and Joint? Bone and Joint.
I think we got. I heard the region's destination twice in there.
Shoot, that's what happens when
I can tell you were multitasking.
Well, I always multitask. Just so you know, I do all of that by memory. Like none of that. I don't read any of that. It's all just off the top of the dome. And sometimes my robot self kind of glitches, and so I apologize for Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all your insurance needs online at bartondrury.com.
That's all right.
Look, dad brain, right? I can always excuse.
That's right.
I guess how old does your child have to be before it's no longer an excuse?
Born, I think. Oh, no longer an excuse. Oh, yeah. I think you have to be done. You definitely have to be done with diapers,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's the minimum, I'd say.
Okay. Sounds good. Brooks is 18. Yeah. All right.
Out of the house.
We are in a good spot here for that one.
I think it's just forever, because even I was at a wedding where the father of the groom officiated, and at the rehearsal, he kept saying the groom's siblings' names instead of the groom's name, which is a classic parent thing to get their kids' names wrong. My mom will sometimes list all 3 of us before she gets to the one that she means.
Hey, Charmin says, when they're off your insurance. So speaking of that, happy birthday, Easton, and your parents are saying, get the hell off of our insurance because you're too old now.
Happy birthday. Get out. Yeah, go pay for it yourself. Thank you. I turn 18 today. Exciting for me. Thank you all for the well wishes. It is a beautiful Tuesday in paradise.
And also, happy Veterans Day, and appreciate all of our veterans for what they've done out there, because Veterans Day, we cannot go unnoticed too much further. So a lot of nonsense we can get to. We'll talk about, my initials or whatever the hell we want to get into, and Easton having people ask, ridiculous questions because he gave away something. So let's dive into the actual news of the show, because I think we have a good conversation to be had, because yesterday, the New York Football Giants fired their head coach, Brian Daboll, this is year 4, 10 games into year 4 of his tenure. Another former NFL Coach of the Year who is joining the Fired Club, along with Mike Vrabel, along with Matt Nagy, and potentially with Kevin Stefanski.
Never win Coach of the Year.
Yes.
It's a bad idea. Don't do it.
Kevin Stefanski won it twice, and he is hanging on by a thread.
Apparently, which is crazy town to me, but
yeah,
conversation for the day that it happens.
For sure. Then there's also Kevin O'Connell that I think is probably another couple of years away, because he just won it. He's the reigning Coach of the Year, so you got to give him a couple of years before he gets fired. That's usually how that works. So Brian Daboll fired yesterday. The Giants' record of the last 40 games is almost as bad as the Titans. Not quite, but almost. Daniel Jones is lighting it up with the Colts after being awful under Brian Daboll with the Giants.
Except for 1 year.
After that 1 year. Now, and there was a torn ACL in there, and there was a weird contract situation and all that, the recovery. So there is some nuance and context to that. But Saquon Barkley helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl last year and ran for 2,000 plus yards. That's probably on Joe Shane, the GM, more than Daboll.
You're listing off a lot of personnel decisions. Who's in charge of that?
Well, I didn't know Daniel Jones was a performance decision. That was right there.
Who gave him that contract? Oh, and then who sent him packing?
No, again, I was going to get to it, because now Joe Shane is retained as the GM and is going to be hiring the new Giants coach.
He's not even retained. He's in charge.
Yes.
They're going to let him pick the guy.
And the other thing that's wild, and we are live, not pre-recorded, as somebody asked. The other thing about this is, like, Joe Shane and Brian Daboll had been together for 7 years. They were assistants together, assistant GM for Shane in Buffalo and the offensive coordinator in Buffalo for Brian Daboll. and then they were hired at the same time together in New York.
Smart process.
Right, but it failed.
But
and now you just kept one but not the other.
Bad process.
But yes, so, there's a lot to that. They have issues. The Giants have a bunch of issues, a ton of issues. And that's not our problem to fix right now. But Jackson Dart and Cam Ward.
Shout out Mom, by the way. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, yes. Hey, Mom, I beat you to it. How about that?
That's right. She sometimes gets in here and she'll be like, I listened to your show this morning. And I go, did you understand a thing that we said? She goes, no, but you sounded good. So thank you
need a
Mom.
Haircut. You need to shave.
That's right.
Why are you
respectful?
Why are you wearing that coffee spilled shirt again?
Hey. I haven't worn that shirt in a long time because you guys have bullied me out of it.
Yes. Bullying works, folks. But also, where was I going? Oh, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, both first-round draft picks, both had head coaches named Brian, both had those head coaches fired in the season. So that's something to go into there. But I think there's a lot to get into because if you could, before we ask our question, let's lay out the lay of the land. Because the Giants wanted to trade up from 3 to 1 for Cam Ward. That's been well documented, but we need to remind everybody, Joe Shane called Mike Borgonzi the night of the draft, joking, hi, well, one last shot, kind of maybe, just kidding. But if you're going to do it, like the whole Nelly thing, like, if you're going to do it, I mean,
yeah.
But bromance, Easton, lay out the bromance that was going on between Brian Daboll and Cam Ward, even when that was unfortunate, just didn't work out. The timing never worked out on that relationship.
That's right. It's like, it's the summer fling of senior year where you just, you're head over heels in love, but you're about to move across the country and it's just never going to work out. And it's just the timing was wrong. Everyone forgets that this beautiful bromance that has budded in the 10 weeks that we got, the 10 very short, very passionate weeks we got between Brian Daboll and Jackson Dart was always Brian Daboll's, it was his backup plan, right? And the documentation has a lot to do with the fact that it's New York and Dart is like a funny character and it was playing pretty good. But I mean, we were getting straight up fan fiction written by the New York media coming out of the locker room at points. When you go back to the spring, we didn't have this level of goofiness documented between Daboll and Ward, but it was very well documented that Joe Shane, Daboll's buddy and partner, was very active and pretty public when it comes to wanting to go and get the first overall pick from where they were at what they have, the third pick? Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
And they were willing to maybe not mortgage their entire draft future, but mortgage some pretty valuable picks to go and do it. That's not a thing that you decide to try to do unless the coach is all in on the guy that you're trying to go and get. And I have seen, as we always do mid-season, the, redraft today. Well, what's the order? The Titans take Jackson Dart first overall. And you also see a lot of like revisionist history of like, bet the Giants feel real smart getting Jackson Dart at 29 or wherever they drafted him when the Titans took Cam
26.
Ward at 1. What 26? What? Yeah, it is always so ridiculous because there's not a team in the league that's taking Jackson Dart at 1 then. Probably not now either. Like it's 10 weeks of a guy playing some good football and risking his physical well-being over and over and over and probably getting 4 concussions in the process does not erase full
only
time.
One documented concussion.
That's right.
For 4, but
and all of that recklessness is probably a pretty big part of why Daboll got fired, to be honest with you.
A former Titans offensive line, who I will keep nameless, once told Zach and I that if you do your concussion baseline test low, then you can get away with more later.
Yep. Yep. I was actually talking to Daryl Baker about this the other because he was in the protocol and then got out of the protocol in the same week, the week of the Chargers game. And Nick Suss and I were talking to him about it, and we asked him, like, is that a thing that guys do? Like that test? Because the
guys, yeah, sure. Me, no.
That's what he said. He's like, I care about my health. And I mean, I believed him in that. And he also, I think, was fine. But it is crazy, by the way. We asked him, like, how much of your week is consumed by this testing? And he was like, in total, probably like, 6 to 8 hours of my week is just testing and medical checks and stuff. And we were like, so if you fail to clear the protocol, do you just have to do it all again next week? And he's like, yeah. So these guys that are in protocol week after week after week, they're just in hell for like a month, however long it takes them to get out of the test. Anyways, yeah, that's probably a portion of why the recklessness with which Daboll was basically sacrificing his rookie quarterback out there with his play calling. I think he led the league in designed runs since week whatever when he first took over and started.
Mm-hmm.
So Cam Ward is the guy that he originally liked and wanted to go and draft at 1. And we know that is the case because of the public reporting. And so it makes it pretty easy to connect the dots of, hey, Daboll as an OC, which is what he was really successfully before he got hired as a wonderkin offensive coordinator, head coach hire. We're all pretty certain he's going to go back to being an OC and probably be a pretty darn good one, maybe in Tennessee.
He does check the boxes for one of the you wrote about this, one of the criteria to be a head coach, which is having experience as a head coach that he's just coming off of. Didn't go very well, but he's got it. And 5+ years of calling plays on offense or defense. He's got both those things. But yes, as an offensive coordinator, could be the move here because of his affinity for Cam Ward. I'm sure Cam Ward had some type of relationship with him throughout the draft process to an extent. So let's go ahead and get the first question off and rolling. How would you feel? This is an open-ended question, which means I can't put up a YouTube poll. How would you feel about Brian Daboll as Cam Ward's next Titans offensive coordinator? How would you feel about it? And I'll put this in the chat, and I'll let you tell us all about the Bone and Joint Institute since I've already done that twice today.
That's right. We love them so much. We mentioned them twice in the open. They are the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. They are the Bone and Joint Institute, located just off I-65 here in the Franklin area, my neck of the woods. Whenever you get hurt in life, you have to know who to trust, and we trust the Bone and Joint Institute with their dozen specialists who can help you through any type of injury. They have a state-of-the-art rehab facility on campus to help you recover. They do everything under one roof for your convenience: clinic, testing, imaging, surgery, and rehab. It's all in that one building. You're not driving around town, across town for referrals. Nope, you're doing it all at the one-stop shop, the Bone and Joint Institute. Schedule an appointment with them today at boneandjointtn.org.
BTA Sports, better for bettors. You can download the app, use the link on the Facebook title and the YouTube description. You click that link, it sends you to the App Store, and then you use the code ATOZSports. That gets you a 14-day free trial for the $79 12-month pass. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Use the code ATOZ14. You still get a 14-day free trial. Then the weekly subscription is just $9.99. The math still works out for you the rest of this NFL season through the playoffs is to do the $79 one. You're going to win your money back. I won my money back like 3 over times. I won a plus 300 parlay on Sunday because BTA Sports helped me find leg 2 and leg 3 on that parlay. They can help you become a better, smarter sports bettor with their models, their projections overall. BTA Sports, better for bettors. Easton, I will send you to the chat. How would you feel? How would the chat feel if Brian Daboll was Cam Ward's next offensive coordinator for the Titans? What are you seeing from the chat here?
Yeah, let's see how people feel. But first, Vocab Corner with Easton. Ann Herndon says, what is a wonderkin? That's a real question. Wonderkind, Wunderkind, somebody that achieves great success at a relatively young age. Now we know. Next to the actual answers, as I scroll and scroll and scroll. Do you want Cam concussed? Fair. Hey, not the greatest track record recently of usage with the quarterback. And we also know that this is kind of the way that he used Daniel Jones in that magical year.
And previously, where he was the offensive coordinator for a young stud quarterback with a lot of running ability, Josh Allen.
Now, the difference is Cam Ward, isn't those, all of those guys
very different
came in with rushing prowess of some sort. You know what I mean? That was kind of already a part of their profile. It's not that Cam can't run, but that's just not ever been his game at any level. A lot of similar answers here. Sean King says all in, just don't run him into the concussion tent. And when he goes into the concussion tent, don't go join him in the concussion tent. Is also a pretty good bit of advice. Big says, sure, why not? Eric says Daboll's a good dude, has had success. High floor, low ceiling offensive coordinator candidate. So, I'm curious what leads you to think that he is a low ceiling guy.
I personally just discovered something. I don't know if this is a Brian Daboll known thing about him, but we were just going through the quarterbacks that he's had and how he's used their legs a lot, right?
Right.
So let's just name the last quarterbacks throughout Brian Daboll's career in reverse order. as either the head coach, the offensive coordinator. So
Okay.
Jackson Dart, Daniel Jones. There's obviously Russell Wilson and others in between there when both guys have been hurt.
Right.
You go back to the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen.
Yep.
Do you remember where Daboll was before he became the Bills offensive coordinator?
KC?
No.
Oh, where?
Alabama under Nick
Oh.
Saban in 2017. They won a national championship.
2017 with Tua?
Tua came in to win the national championship, but Jalen Hurts,
was Jalen Hurts. You're right.
was
You're right.
running the ball 20 times a game as a sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, good
So,
call.
I mean, you have to go. And then before that, he was in New England as the Patriots tight ends coach before you go back to 2012, where he was the Chiefs offensive coordinator. And I do not know who the quarterback was for the 2012 Kansas City Chiefs. But like, again, I just named Dart, Daniel Jones, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. The four main quarterbacks that he has had recently since 2017 have all been running quarterbacks or quarterbacks that he has ran heavily.
That's a good point. How about a healthy mix of Matt Castle and Brady Quinn in Kansas City, who aren't the runniest players of all time?
So you got to go, and that was just a 1-year stint. Then he was the
Yes.
Dolphins coordinator, and man, he kind of jumped around quite a bit. Cleveland Browns for 2 years, Dolphins for 1 year, Chiefs for 1 year. I believe that's when the Chiefs coaching staff got fired, and then enter Andy Reid. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe my timelines are mixed up.
Despite Brady Quinn and Matt Castle not being super athletic guys, they did run for a combined like 40 attempts that season, which is not nothing. Yeah, and another thing that I was reminded of while we're just kind of eulogizing Brian Daboll is that his first win as a head coach, Tennessee Titans. Remember that?
Yes. Kyle
Season
Phillips
opener.
game. Yeah.
Kyle Phillips game. They went for 2 before the Titans had a chance at a game-winning drive. It should have had a game-winning drive if it weren't for Randy Bullock missing the kick. But it's kind of a bookend situation here where they had a chance to tie on the road in his opener. He was aggressive and bold and went for 2 and gained the lead, which ultimately won them the game. Meanwhile, in his final game as the head coach of the Giants this past weekend, he kicked a field goal from the 1-yard line and then lost by 4, which is, when you do the math on that, not great. So sometimes you should go out swinging, kind of what we've been yelling at Mike McCoy for. Like, don't go out lame like that. Back to the chat where we have more opinions. I'd feel okay, says Titans Kyle. Not super excited, but not pissed. Okay, I'm curious, like, what people want in an OC that would.
Well, again, we're having this conversation about Brian Daboll as Cam Ward's potential offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Because there's known from Brian Daboll's side for Cam Ward. We have no idea what Cam Ward feels about Brian Daboll.
Correct.
But they got to hire a head coach first. So it's almost like we're kind of talking about this little backwards of we don't know who the head coach is in this Brian Daboll offensive coordinator scenario.
Zach Goodman's got it all figured out. He wants Saleh as the head coach. He wants Daboll as the OC. And he'd say, let's freaking go to that combo.
I mean, that's you could do a lot worse.
You could do way worse. 100%. You got a pair of former head coaches as your head coach and OC. 2 guys that have a whole lot of experience at high levels. So
you gotta have a defensive head coach and an offensive head coach in a way.
Kind of, yeah. And you know that may be a situation where the OC is the assistant head coach, a thing that Mike Kafka was. We'll get to in a second. Let's see. People, I mean, as I'm just kind of scrolling, it's a lot of people saying, "Sure, why not?" I'm not sure people have a super strong opinion of it. But
Do you want me to
I'm
go?
I'm not seeing anybody that hates the idea.
Because you could do way worse of an offensive coordinator than Brian Daboll because he has had a ton of success. The running quarterback thing is something I hadn't personally put together until now, as I mentioned. And that is giving me some hesitation. So I have 2 reasons why I have hesitation about Brian Daboll as the Titans offensive coordinator for Cam Ward. I just mentioned the running the quarterback at a higher rate, which is not Cam Ward. So is there a fit there? Even though Brian Daboll wanted Cam Ward when he was the Giants head coach. The other one I will get to here in a second. But first, I'm going to tell you guys about our friends at Barton Drury Insurance Group. Customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. It is open enrollment season. Or if you're like Easton and you turn 26 years old today and you got to go find your own damn health coverage, get the heck out of this house, get off of our coverage. You can go to bartondrury.com and call them today and get some health coverage quotes for you, because Easton's going to do that with our employee benefits that we offer for our A to Z employees.
I don't know. I think my plan is to just go uninsured and never get hurt or sick.
Hey, you roll the dice.
Right.
Just don't have Brian Daboll helping you out. Yeah. So also they do our workers' comp policy as well. So many different ways you can use Barton Drury Insurance Group, home, auto, rental, umbrella. They've also got 401k planning for your financial future and big picture type stuff. So all over the place, they can help you out. And they can help you try to save some money within the margins on that as well and not sacrifice the coverage and what you need. Online, bartondrury.com.
We are also powered by BTA Sports. Better for bettors. Use the link in the description below to get a 14-day free trial courtesy of AtoZSports. And you'll get $20 off the annual pass down to $79.99. More than worth it. You will thank us for recommending them to you, frankly, because they're going to make you a lot of money.
That's right.
BTA Sports.
Went through two reasons why I'm slightly hesitant on Brian Daboll as the Titans' next offensive coordinator with an unknown, unnamed head coach in this hypothetical. One, does he run quarterbacks at too high of a rate, and does that fit Cam Ward? That's football reason. The other one is the personality. Brian Daboll is a hard ass. You could also say he might be a jerk, an asshole, fiery, or too emotional, right? Is that the right fit? Now, Cam Ward, this is not can Cam Ward handle a hard ass coach? That's the opposite of what this is, because I think Cam Ward can handle any type of personality because he's pretty chill. Cam Ward is the thermostat, not the thermometer. But I feel like Brian Daboll is a thermometer.
Yes. It's funny you say that. I want to let you keep going, but an interesting point made to me by Danny Heifetz, who works at The Ringer and does the Ringer fantasy football show, but he's a big Giants fan. I was talking to him about this the other day. He said that he thinks that Brian Daboll is the opposite of Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell at the podium, off the football field, super emotional guy, right? On the field, on the headset, makes, believe it or not, even though people think he's a meathead, like really informed, process-driven decisions. Brian Daboll at the podium during the week, very process-driven, very cold and calculated, and then on Sundays just does what his heart wants him to do, man. Hot as hell. I'm gonna go try to drag my guy out of the tent. I'm gonna run him into the ground. Like, I think that's a pretty good way of putting it, to be honest.
Kind of like I say, like whenever I go play golf, which is not often, you know what? I'm not going to use my driver today. I'm going to use a 3-wood.
That's right.
Might use some irons on the tee box, and then you get there and just F it. You just rip it, baby.
You have one good hole, and you're like, you know what? I'm the best golfer in the world. This
is not fun. Like, I want it out fun, and I want to swing hard.
So do you want the inverse Dan Campbell?
No, I don't. Like, because I don't know who the head coach is, which I understand that, but I don't think it would be smart I don't think it would be smart for the quarterback to be the more calm of the two, especially the quarterback, a year 2 quarterback.
When you put it like that,
really tough rookie season. I don't want Brian Daboll to have to be calmed down and kept chill by his 25-year-old quarterback or whatever, however Cam Ward's going to be next year. So I am hesitant on the idea of Brian Daboll. I don't, again, they could do way worse, worse. I'm not going to, if that happens, I will not be I will not dog the hire of Brian Daboll as OC, but I will be hesitant and I will question and I will be watching very intently for what happens with the thermometer of Brian Daboll's emotions.
Yeah, I have 2 things to add. Generally, my answer is, I'd be happy. Could do way worse. I'd be happy with it. His reputation in the league speaks for itself. I think he's a very good offensive coordinator and would be a great hire. The 2 things I want to add. Number 1, lest we forget, we are going to get a glimpse into how this went with him and a young quarterback and like these 10 games that he coached this year, because the NFC East is the in-season Hard Knocks team. So I'm gonna have to turn on Hard Knocks in season this year to kind of see, what all was going on in the Giants building, what they show us. That will be interesting. Number 2, we already had a question about this at a press conference yesterday in Buffalo, New York. This may all be for naught because I feel in my gut that he will just do a Robert Saleh and go back to the place that his bread is buttered or was buttered originally to get a head coaching job, because Joe Brady, a once great head coaching candidate in his own right, and by once I mean like a month ago, has kind of done the Bobby Slowick media dive where you go from head coaching candidate to breadline in the blink of an eye. And he is hated by everyone in Buffalo. And even though the head coach up there continues to say, we're not even, that's not even a consideration right now, Brian Daboll coming back, that's ridiculous, I'm sticking by Joe Brady, everybody sees the writing on the wall. It would not be shocking. First of all, whether Daboll takes the job or not, we all expect they're going to get a new offensive coordinator in Buffalo this next season. Like, that feels kind of like a foregone conclusion. I don't know why it wouldn't be the guy that was so good at it that he got a head coaching job.
Yeah.
And if I were Daboll, that's what I would do.
Sure. Why not go back?
What better a place to rehab your image,
than the place that got you to the head coaching job in the first place.
Look at how it's going for Saleh.
Yeah, it's going very well.
Even though that defense is dead and bad right now.
The Bills have not been able to break through with or without Brian Daboll, with Josh Allen, to get through the Chiefs in the playoffs to do what they ultimately want to do. So, all right, a couple comments here. Corey says the Titans need a bully coach and an OC who actually had previous success in some form of the NFL. I mean, I'm not against a bully coach. I'm not against somebody who pushes back. I think authority is a very important thing, and how it's deployed is also important. But I just don't want an emotional coach. I did have a comment that I want to Deborah, because I said I don't want the second-year quarterback to be the calm one with his offensive coordinator. Deborah says that the dynamic works for the Eagles. Yeah, Nick Sirianni is the opposite of calm, and Jalen Hurts is the definition of calm. Mm-hmm. And it does work. But I think that's just a different situation, because Nick Sirianni in the Philadelphia market is totally cool with being the lightning rod, so that the players are not the lightning rod. And he is comfortable being that type of, because he is himself. He is that authentically emotional, up and down. We see him cry during the national anthem and how emotional he is with his kids and his wife at the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. And then when the Packers get a free attempt at a field goal and he flips out, what's going on? Like, and Jalen Hurts is just sitting on the bench, just like, so that dynamic does work. But
let's call a spade, though. It only works because he has a team of all pros. Because we've seen every time in his tenure that things have gotten bad. And by bad, I mean like threatening to not have a winning season, threatening to only win 8 games. They've gotten real close to kicking him out of the city.
Well, there has been lots of reporting, or I will use the word reporting, that Jalen Hurts went to leadership after 2 seasons ago when they crumbled, and had a discussion about Nick Sirianni without Nick Sirianni. and then there was work that had to be done between those two, Hurts and Sirianni, that offseason. They got through some stuff. They figured things out. They won a Super Bowl. So
I remain convinced that shtick only works when your team is full of all pros.
Yeah. And the two people were able to work through it for the betterment of everything else and the betterment of themselves too.
And the Titans, not full of all pros.
No. Also, I thought an appropriate comment here on this was Anthony brought up the players did well with a hard ass, Vrabel. The problem is the owners and the execs want a coach who gives hugs and does what they say, Callahan. So, yeah, those are very extreme. Not all the players did well with a hard ass. There were many players that did not like the way that Vrabel went about things.
Vrabel won. We went 7-10 and then 6-11 in his last 2 years. We can't just forget that. In fact, the players didn't do well when the players started to suck at the end.
I mean, there is a guy who used to wear a C patch on his chest, Wesley Woodyard, who has been very vocal against what Vrabel wasn't doing.
Correct.
And how Vrabel was perceived publicly versus what was like actually happening inside. So, and you can go search Wesley Woodyard Mike Vrabel, and you could find all of those comments. I'm not going to butcher them by accident reasons. So, like, not everything was great with Vrabel. It was great at times. It was bad at times, and he lost his job because, yes, he pushed too hard against the owner and overplayed that card. We've been over that quite a bit. So, another comment I wanted to get to here. Ryan says, why are you glazing over? I don't know who you is in the situation. A quarterback that's been in the tent 4 times in 7 games. I want someone who can stay on the field. Talking about Cam versus Dart. And I think that's the main thing with Daboll of like, we aren't. I don't know who the you was, but I thought the idea of making sure you can keep your quarterback healthy, because everybody knows in the NFL, if your quarterback is consistently in and out of the lineup, your team is going to be in and out of contention.
Yeah. Yes. As the Bengals have found out, for example.
Yes.
Although with them, it has more to do with that their defense is an abomination on God's green earth.
Mm-hmm.
Should we talk about Mike Kafka?
If you're ready to.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's get to this one, because I'm just going to preface it, and I don't know if everybody is on the same page as me. I think the majority probably is. The Titans need to hire a head coach that has had previous head coaching experience, in my opinion. I think that's the smart way to go. The last
most
2 guys,
popular, I believe, of the pivots in
Sure.
people's eyes. Yeah.
Sure. The last 2 guys did not that they hired. Mike Vrabel was a first-time head coach. It worked, and then it didn't. And then Brian Callahan obviously did not work. So now we have enter Mike Kafka. Mike Kafka is the interim coach for the New York Giants after Brian Daboll's firing. The offensive coordinator, the assistant head coach, I believe he had that title as well. So I'm going to ask this.
Years. Yep.
At the past 2 years, assistant head coach. I'm going to ask this question, and then we'll go deeper on Mike Kafka. Do you buy or sell Mike Kafka's 8 games as an interim coach to check that box that I've talked about? You buy or sell Mike Kafka's got 8 games as an interim coach to check the box of experienced coach for this Titans coaching search. Now I can put up a YouTube poll because I've got a buy or sell option. And I like that. But I will tell you guys, how about this for a tease for throwing shade? We will do a giveaway. I'm going to give away a pair of passes plus 1 parking pass to the Nashville water taxi for this upcoming Titans game against the Texans in downtown. I will say this. If you're not going to the game, that doesn't mean you can't do this. Because guess what the temperature is going to be on Sunday in Nashville? Like 68 and sunny in November, mid-November. So I'm telling you, what you could do here is go downtown, park your car for free, because you're going to get a pass here, 2 passes here. You and a friend, you and whoever, ride a boat from the lot to the stadium. Walk. If you don't have tickets to the game, if you have tickets to the game, go to the game. But you can also walk across the pedestrian bridge, go play around on Broadway in the sunshine in November for a few hours, and then hit that water taxi back to your car. Boom. That sounds like a sick Sunday.
Tell the people what the value of this package is, Austin.
Like $70.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's pretty good. So you get 2 tickets and a parking pass for free to enjoy a boat ride on a great Sunday. If you're going to the game, boom, that's the right way to go. So the NashvilleWaterTaxi.com. We will do that giveaway coming up for throwing shade later on in the show. So Easton, let's go ahead and get to the comments here. What do you say? What are you seeing? And I'll put up the YouTube poll. Buy or sell that 8 games for Mike Kafka as the interim coach checks the box for experienced coach for the Titans coaching search.
Well, Ashley says it is most important to note he is she wants somebody not named Mike. Now, I want to note the fact that he is named Mike is a good indication for his higher ability around here,
because they're on a Mike up cycle. This is a Mike cycle.
It's right. And so that's actually a requirement, is we only can interview Mikes. Sell from Titan Kyle, buy from Steven Crocio. Absolutely not. Sell. Super duper sell, spelled incorrectly. Sell. No, sell. Okay, well, message loud and clear here. Sell, stay away. Sell. My God. Sell. I saw one. We got one person at the top that says bye. Why not? And the rest, everybody else is screaming at me. Absolutely not. Are you crazy?
I asked the question on Easton. Don't take it on Easton. It's his
Yeah,
birthday.
well,
Oh my gosh.
that's all right.
You know what? Throw
a
tomatoes
lot
at
as the
Easton for his
messenger this year.
birthday.
I've been yelled at a lot as the messenger this year. I've gotten kind of used to it at this point. No, stop being absurd. Okay, all right, Vanessa.
Jeez.
Excuse me, sir. This is a Wendy's.
Stop.
Brian, he
Stop
has
being
8
absurd.
games more experience as a head coach than I do. Hashtag progress. Well, if that's the bar, raise your standards.
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling. I found just the one person at the top, the optimistic. Maybe that was Mike Kafka himself listening this morning, because everybody else. How dare you? I mean, how dare you? Says Eric. He's personally offended that we would ask such a question. Tomatoes. And MB says they don't need a first-time head coach, which is kind of the point of this question. I guess there's your answer, that does not qualify as being a head coach when you're the interim for half a year. Austin, this was a question that you found interesting, so I'm wondering if you have an interesting answer.
Well, because when this happened and Kafka was given the interim, I think both of us kind of had this could be interesting to watch. Like, this is something to monitor, because if yes. he does well, should the Giants just keep it?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yes, probably. How many times in history, if ever, has an interim done well enough to get a head job somewhere, but it wasn't with the place he was being an interim in? You know what I mean?
That's a heck of a quality.
I can think of some times that person's gotten interviews. Like Antonio Pierce, for example, did not get the job in Vegas. He did at least one interview somewhere else.
Are you sure? Didn't he have the job for another year? Yeah, he was the interim.
Or wait, no,
they hired him.
I'm thinking
and then
of
he got fired a year later.
Not him. Who's the other Vegas interim recently? Who's now I think in Green Bay. Chat. Who was the other Vegas interim who did?
Oh,
this?
the special teams coach.
Yeah. What's his name?
I know him up.
You know who I'm talking about though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did that. But whatever.
It's like a.
I'm gonna know it the second I hear it, but
I'm trying to not look it up.
But I admit.
But yes, this.
Bisaccia, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I mixed up Vegas interims. It shows you how things have been going in Vegas lately. So yeah, I don't know. But here's what I do know. He has been a very hot head coach candidate for going on 3 years now. He became the OC in New York it was part of the inaugural staff with Daboll back in 22, and then after that first year, when they went to the playoffs and had a really good year, he interviewed with the Texans, Panthers, and Colts for their head job openings. The year after, 2024, he interviewed with the Titans. He was part of the searching process for Brian Callahan, as well as the Seahawks. And then last year, he interviewed for Chicago and New Orleans. So he has been a regular on the head coaching candidate circuit. His head coaching interviews that didn't end up resulting in a job each year have not. Some guys interview and then like the next year they don't get asked again. And you're like, well, you can, the word got around how those went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That hasn't been the case for him at all. He has been an assistant head coach now for a couple of years. He's done basically everything, and now he's going to be the interim. So he's done literally he's about to finish the last piece of head coach testing in my eyes that you can do before you get the yes or the no on being a head coach. So while I don't think it checks the box, these 8 games, when it comes to experience, and I'm with you that I'll broaden it a little bit. I would like them to hire somebody with head coaching experience or significant play calling experience as a coordinator. I think that's what the data shows, is that it really also has to do with whether or not the head coach is going to be a play caller. But assuming the head coach is going to be a play caller, especially if they're going to be offensive, I want that guy to have a half a decade of play calling experience. The same goes for a defensive guy, for the record, like Robert Saleh. And I don't believe Kafka has that. He would be a first-time head coach, and he'd be a first-time. Not only, I'm certain he's not called plays for 5 years. I'm trying to figure out if he's called plays ever. I don't think he has. Not in New York, right? It's been Daboll the whole time. So
let's see. Yeah,
he's kind of a more qualified Brian Callahan when it comes to quote-unquote head coaching experience. But he would still be a technical first-time head coach, first-time play caller.
But would he be the play caller?
Oh, for these next 8 games. I mean,
no. I'm saying if he was as a head coach.
Yeah. I mean,
because
fair question.
because Mike Vrabel was a 1-year defensive coordinator with Houston, and it went horribly wrong. He had a 32nd ranked defense that year, and he became the head coach because he was the right head coach. And he was not and he hired Dean Pease to be his D coordinator. And then the 1 year that he didn't have a D coordinator was the worst third down defense in the history of third down defenses. And then he promoted Shane Bowen properly, and they got better.
MB says coordinating has nothing to do with being a head coach. Wrong. Not true. First of all, if the coach is going to call plays, which is a very common thing, it has everything to do with being a head coach. But even if they're not going to call plays, having a coordinating play calling experience still absolutely applies, because one, it's just general like leadership and understanding how to lead men. But more importantly, the head coach is part of the game plan as much as anybody is. He's a part of the decision making when it comes to play calling as much as anybody is. Like he's over these decisions. I want a head coach that knows what the heck's going on and can like be accountable and responsible for the decisions that his people are making. And you can't really do that effectively in my eyes unless you know what the heck is going on. And being a coordinator in the past is a great way to know what the heck is going on. Like Liam Cohen, I have heard this story a million times this year about Liam Cohen. Everybody's like, because he's part of the McVay tree, and everybody's like, how did you become such an upstart young genius on the whiteboard and a great play caller? And he was like, well, it kind of started when I hand drew plays for Sean McVay for 3 years. Like I was the guy that McVay would have literally diagram the plays to show on the board. And it's kind of like when in grade school, during vocab class or whatever, they'd have you write out the vocab words, because it's like doing it, like actually writing it, connects it to your brain, locks it in your memory. There's an element to that of like, you have a better understanding of what's going on if you're the guy that's forced to draw the plays out by hand.
Easton,
so like,
would you like
that experience matters. It does.
Would you like to try the word buzz?
The word buzz. Is this a reference?
That was your summer movie reference.
Is this a Sandler reference?
Yes, this is your Billy Madison when he could not spell risotto. Or
okay. You find that movie so much more quotable than I do.
Well, because it was appropriate right there, and you failed because
I did
you watched it 5 months ago and you forgot already.
That's right. I basically crammed for that test.
Yes.
And have not retained any of the memory.
So I think so Mike Kafka, I don't think he has been a play caller because he's been under Daboll and then under Andy Reid. So
I bet he does now, though, right? These next 8 games?
You would think. Yes.
He's probably been chomping at the bit this whole time to get his hands on that play sheet.
Yeah,
and
he's been under 2 very high thought of play callers. Brian Daboll is a good play caller when he was not a head coach. Andy Reid is one of arguably, if not the best active play caller that the NFL has right now. So there's a lot of really good examples there. So I think here's what I would say. I'm going to go to the YouTube poll here in a second. My answer is Mike Kafka could be the only first-time head coach candidate I would entertain for the Titans job.
Oh. Interesting.
Because he has 8 games to do stuff, to figure it out. And that's a good – you can learn a lot in 8 games being the head coach, right?
Yeah, totally.
I think that is nothing to turn your nose up at.
I hope he calls plays, by the way, because we always talk about how, like, man, it's a big jump for a guy to be a head coach for the first time and call plays for the first time. And I do think it's generally a bad idea. But since it's an interim job, you got nothing to lose. Do it. You know what I mean? Let's see how it goes for you. Can you handle it? Let's see it.
Right. Yeah, and Justin says if Kafka has success, the G-men will most likely retain him. Maybe. Or maybe Joe Shane wants to go find somebody else, because that's the other caveat to this is that Shane, the GM, has been retained and said that he is going to be in charge of the next head coach. Does he want to just promote the interim? Because because this is his last leg too.
This is it.
He cut off his Brian Daboll leg, and now he's got his leg to stand on. And are you just gonna do the same thing, just different dude, different bald guy? I don't know.
Crazy. But yeah, I would, if I were him, my bar would be very, very high for Kafka to, you know what I mean, to be the guy.
Yeah. There's something else too.
I'd
So
want
I'll
to go higher Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin is going to. We're going to do three things in a second. I'm going to update the YouTube poll.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you another reason why Kafka is not just something to ignore. And then how many jobs has Lane Kiffin been mentioned for? So we're going to do all those three things here in a moment. But first, Easton, tell us about Botero carts.
Botero carts. Life is short. Buy a golf cart. We love Botero carts. They are a locally owned and operated golf cart dealership with 2 locations to serve you in the Middle Tennessee area, in Columbia, Tennessee, and in Gallatin, Tennessee. Check out whichever shop is nearest you for 0% financing for 36 months on your new golf cart starting at under $6,800. They are open every day of the week. Again, they are a full-service sales and rental dealership. No dealer fees, no credit card fees, not even a credit-needed option if that's something that you are interested in. There is no excuse not to go ahead and check that box on your bucket list, owning a golf cart. Do it with our friends at Botero Carts.
BTA Sports Better for Betters, you can do like I did and win a plus 300 parlay because BTA Sports helped me find leg 2 and leg 3. I had leg 1. I just went into this thing with one leg. I like the Colts money line to win in Berlin. Shocker. Easy bet for me to make. I needed 2 more legs, and BTA Sports helped me out with the under Dolphins and Bills. That worked out nice. And then the Ravens money line on the road in Minnesota. So that worked out for me. BTA Sports can help you out. You can download the app by clicking the link in our Facebook title in the YouTube description. Use the code ATOZSports to get you a $79 12-month subscription, but you also get a 14-day free trial. Or you can do ATOZ14, still get a 14-day free trial, and then a weekly subscription cost of $9.99. But you get 2 full free weeks to try out BTA Sports before you pay anything right there, Better for Betters. So 3 things to do here. The YouTube poll for Mike Kafka is currently buy or sell. Mike Kafka's 8 games as Giants interim checks the experienced coach box for the Titans. 87% sell, Easton. 87% sell.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I kind of agree. So
again, my answer technically would be buy. With the binary options that we have and how I answered it, I would have to check the buy box.
Okay.
Because I'm saying Mike Kafka could be the only first-time coach that I would personally entertain for the Titans. The other reason why I think it would make sense is because Mike Kafka spent many, many years in Kansas City as an offensive assistant, climbing the ladder as a QB coach, and then a pass game coordinator where Mike Borgonzi was also there.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got that connection. You've also got there's just a lot of lines you can draw of like who is Mike Borgonzi going to be a fan of here. You also have Mike Kafka, by the way, Titans legend.
Oh, that's right. Not as a real player, but technically on the squad, right?
Titans practice squad legend. Yes, yeah. Mike Kafka, Titans practice squad legend, 2015. Shout out, backup quarterback, practice squad quarterback.
I noticed that yesterday when I was researching it, and I forgot to write it in the story.
Yes, so
100%.
So that's where he could be. I would entertain it if these 8 games show that he can get through some of these first-time coach headaches and first-time coach speed bumps, because you get a free 8 games to learn things on the fly with nothing to lose but all to gain. I think that's very valuable for anybody, which is why I think they should have given Bones Fossil the interim job here. I was just
about to say it's at least good process on the Giants' parts for picking an interim who has a future in the league. I like that. My answer, to be clear, is I'm selling that it counts as experience technically to check that box, but I'm not selling him being a candidate if things go a certain way. I think if the Giants don't retain him, he's likely to end up on their short list of interviews again, because they did it the first time. List,
yeah.
Yes.
For sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, they interviewed him a year or 2 years ago without the Mike Borgonzi connection, so they're going to interview him again if he's available.
Agreed.
So, how many jobs has Lane Kiffin been mentioned for?
Florida job.
Florida. LSU.
That's right, LSU job. Yep.
Auburn,
New York.
It was already turned down.
We're just naming all the open jobs.
The New York Giants.
Not the Titans job, for what it's
Not
worth.
the
Has not
Titans
been
job.
mentioned.
Somebody said the Dolphins. Somebody said that Lane will end up in Miami.
They're just trying to send the most Florida man of all time to Florida. That's what we're trying to do
Back
here.
to Florida.
That's right. I think he will be the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebs, personally.
I agree. I don't think he's going anywhere.
But New York Giants head coach
back.
Lane Kiffin, listen, sign me up yesterday, brother. I'm in. I'm in. Jackson Dart, back again. It would be a media fever dream.
It would be dumb for Lane
Yes.
Kiffin to do that.
But what do I care? I mean, the Giants as an organization have been dumb for a decade. Let's just keep it going at this point.
Almost 20 years since Lane Kiffin was hired as a 33-year-old head coach by the Raiders and then fired quickly.
I forget that happened, but yeah. Did
Almost
that last
20
more than a
years.
year?
2 year and a half.
2? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, then Tennessee hired him
Yep.
for a year.
Well, that's
So,
history.
yeah, I think Kiffin should. If I were Kiffin, I would not touch Jackson Dart. You made Jackson Dart a first-round draft pick, and then you should just keep your hands clean of him. Like, I did my first-round pick. I did my
That's
job.
right.
Put
Anything
that on my
from here is not
resume.
my fault, brother.
Don't go back to him. I think he's just
Right.
too reckless. Too reckless. So, all right.
Shade time?
Shade time.
Giveaway
real
time?
quick. Do we want to? Yeah. Do we have a giveaway coming up? Do we want to answer Titans Cal's question from the very beginning of the show?
Oh, yeah. Explain the M in your username. Because your username
Yeah, because YouTube's
M
doing the thing with
Stanley
it. Yeah, they're
15 or
showing
whatever.
usernames now instead of
Right.
like names because they have a weird glitch going on across a lot of YouTube channels. Yeah, my first name is not Austin. So,
Which is, does anybody else know an Austin who's actually not named Austin? Because my best friend and my boss are both named Austin, and neither of them are actually named Austin.
Yeah, we
what is
go
your
by
first name?
Austin.
Michael?
Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My best friend's name is James Austin. You're Michael Austin, but apparently you're both Austin. So it's only 2 nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
So when I was in college at Tennessee, there were 5 Austins that were in our fraternity.
That's crazy.
None of us naturally went by our name Austin. Like we were referred to as Austin. All 5 of us. But
Sure.
all of us socially went by our last name.
Because you kind of had to, right? I mean,
No. It had nothing. Like if there was just one of us,
It
we
would
would
still
all
be
be
that way.
referred to socially as our last name.
Huh. Why?
I don't know.
All right, Stanley.
I was literally, I went by Stanley socially and Zach went by Bingham socially up until we created the show AtoZSports using our first names.
B to S didn't quite have the same ring.
Yeah. BS Sports did not work out very well.
That's funny.
Ann
Alternate
says,
history.
Mike Stanley sounds like a douche. One, that's my uncle. Watch your mouth. Also, don't say that about the former like Toronto Blue Jays like baseball player too.
Oh yeah, how dare you?
I think he was a Blue Jay.
Herndon's not even your real name, Ann.
Yeah, and Buck's name isn't Buck, so
Andrew Rising.
that's right. All right, now it's time for trivia. I'm sorry, shade and giveaway. So, Easton, your job is to favorite the shades
On it.
because anybody who gives a shade today gets entered to win 2 tickets and a parking pass, the Nashville Water Taxi for this Sunday. The weather is going to be great. You can use it to get to and from the Titans game, or you can just use it to get to and from Broadway. So they operate, they take people in the morning from their tailgate lots on the water to the stadium and then back to the lot after the game's over. So there's so many different ways you can use that. You can hop around downtown and Broadway for a few hours. So shades get you an entrance to this giveaway. Corey, yes, we A to Z Austin.
Shade on Corey for not looking alive. Look alive, Corey. Anyways.
Yes. All right, now it is time for some shade. Here we go. Shout out to Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon online, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. They'll help you save some money on that new ride. It is now time for shade. Easton, are you doing your job with the shade counting?
I am starring.
That's fantastic. So while you continue to do that, I will read the shades that are starred here as you keep going. Deborah says, shade on wind plus wind chill equal too many leaves in my pool, and I'm the pool guy. Yeah, that's not fun.
Shout out the spelling of leaves.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? What's the correct spelling? Leaves?
Oh, sorry. No, I just looked at it wrong. I thought he left the vowel.
What are you, the Leafs? You from Toronto too?
No. That would be the correct proper noun spelling of the Leafs.
The Maple Leafs?
I just glanced at it too quickly and thought that it was Leves. I just had dyslexia. Ignore me.
Yeah, okay. Rooney, shade on these airline cancellations. Fly to the game on Sunday. Hope to make it. I need redemption from the rain game.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Rooney could use some Nashville water taxi passes.
True.
Titans Cal says shade on not using your given name.
Gotcha.
That wasn't my choice to go by Austin, but yeah.
But you're an adult now. It's up to you.
No. Nobody. Like, that's not how that works. Because you can throw shade on my parents if you want to.
Shade on Stanley's.
You don't throw shade on the person who didn't choose their name. They didn't choose their name. I'm not throwing shade on my parents for that. But I'm just saying.
I hear you.
From Kyle's perspective, Bork says shade on the college football playoff rankings. These automatic qualifiers leaving out clearly better teams. Yeah, you can throw shade on a lot of stuff with that. Scott, shade on politics, fire them all. Okay. Eric says shade on the newer vehicles with bright headlights. I can't see. This is great shade.
It's a good one. This is a good one.
Look, it's like, yeah, these are great for the people that are driving those cars, but everybody else is screwed. It's like, oh, look how much you can see. It's like,
there's a thing called brights. Let's keep the brights bright. And they're not brights.
SNL hasn't done a bit on that yet about how wow, look how bright look how much you can see, but the others can't see you. Anthony, shade on my wife for being mad at me because my 4-year-old had a meltdown at 4 a.m. about not getting chocolate milk. Okay.
Hate that.
Daff, shade on people who got the day off while my veteran self had to come to work. Shout out to Daff.
Shout out
right
Daff.
there for your service. Appreciate that. And I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad you're not working at work.
Somebody asked if my name's actually Easton. Yes, it is actually Easton.
Shade to the other not slow Taco Bell in my town for saying they can't replace beef and a cheesy gordita crunch with chicken. I'm allergic to red meat. I need my chicken cheesy gorditas. Yeah,
we are pitting local Taco Bell.
They can totally do that.
That is what the shade segment is for, right?
They can do that. Shade on people wanting anything to do with Josh McDaniels. Never hire anyone from the Reed, McVay, or Shanahan tree. You mean McDaniel, or you gotta be very specific?
Yeah, this is an easy thing to confuse here.
So Mike McDaniel is a Shanahan tree / McVay tree. Josh McDaniels is a Bill Belichick. I wouldn't touch McDaniels with as long of a pole as I can hold up. Mike McDaniel as an offensive coordinator is a different conversation.
Sure.
Brandon, shade on this bipolar weather. One day it's snowing, next day it's sunny. Yep. And it's going to be 68 degrees on Sunday. So you ride that boat, baby. It's snowing yesterday. It's freezing cold right now, but it's going to be nice on the weekend. Mm-hmm. Jason, shade on the airport pre-boarders that are gaming the system. Most of them need a wheelchair to get on the plane, but don't need one when they get off. Every time it's like I witnessed several in-flight miracles.
This is true, Jason. I'm glad you're saying it.
That's really funny. Oh, Nick says shade on the official who threw a flag after just 2 McCringleberry pumps.
It turns out the rules in a comedy sketch aren't reflective of the actual NFL rules.
Shade on, I do crack up every time that happens. Shade on Dust there. Vanessa, shade on Amy. You look so sad that real women owner has taken the reins. No more excuses.
Oh, okay. Pitting AFC South owners against each other. Fight.
Oh, yeah. Sharman, shade on Mother Nature, 16 at night, 78 during the day in Kansas. That's
same here, man.
Shade on Easton for trying to be a grammar Nazi.
I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi. I am. Grammar Nazi.
Shade on Louisville Cardinals. Go Cats. Rivalry game. Yeah, Louisville losing to Cal at home. Tough look.
Woof.
Well, Wild Bill there with some interesting picture that I just realized.
I love Wild Bill's profile picture. It's the craziest one of all of the profiles we have on a regular basis.
Might have to change my shade. Katie says shade on the weather. Yeah, more weather. B-Bird, shade on parents actively working against parents. If you give an instruction, follow through. Okay.
Fair. Got to back each other up.
Javu says shade on me for using Titan Ticket sales rep as free therapy.
Just talk about shooting the messenger, right?
Orlando, all the shade on Taco Bell for the Baja Blast pie. Nobody wants that. Baja Blast pie?
Speak for yourself, bro. I would try that right this minute if I had a Baja Blast pie in front of me.
You have my attention. Shade on Jared Stillman haters. Shade on Stillman listeners. Sean says shade on work making me work late yesterday, so I didn't get to register the car. And then the last one we have here, Brian, shade on scoring touchdowns. Still rated. All right, so that's
somebody just wants in on the drawing right there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough.
Easton, because of time. Yeah, because do you want to pull up the wheel?
I have it. I just got to plug this number in.
Okay. So
11, 12, 13, 14.
Are there more? Because I want to see. Hold on. You got to add 2 more. Make it 28. Make it 28.
Did it. Sorry, that takes a long time because I have to manually enter each number.
Okay.
It's not just like you don't plug in 28. You plug in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have it now.
You have to
share my screen.
You have to type in all those?
Yeah,
Justin says 29.
Okay, hang on. 29. Got it. Yeah, you have to do it by hand. So let me share my screen.
Wait. Yes. Share your screen, and then we will.
Wheel of names.
Do we have like a. Here, let's just
do the.
Let's do this.
Sure. Yes, see there on the side, I had to plug in all the numbers.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So I feel like we should spin twice, once as a winner, one as a backup, just in case.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Spinning. Who will it be? Commenter
for Nashville Water Taxi.
12.
Commenter number 12.
We have
one of the top.
Oh.
Jason Martinez, the pre-boarders. Right. That's a good one.
My favorite of the comments. Okay. That is a very appropriate
Jason,
winner.
You are our current winner of the Nashville Water Taxi tickets. By the way, we have 5 total pair to give away this week. I kind of buried that. So this is just the first of 5 pairs. So we got way more tickets to give away. Nice. So let's have a backup just in case Jason isn't available for
Jason, reach out to us.
Water Taxi. Yes.
On Twitter, on Facebook.
Yeah, you can Facebook message AtoZSports page, and I will go find it. I will see. All right. I will seek it out.
The backup winner, who can be sort of excited, maybe, but probably not. Sorry to kind of tease you here. Would be commenter number 15, 3 after Jason,
and that would be Vanessa with our female shade on female shade.
That's right, Vanessa. A resident.
Vanessa, I know Vanessa's out of state.
Okay, well then maybe we need to do another
backup. Let's do a backup.
Backup. Third string. Who's in the hole here?
This is the Mike Kafka of winners.
That's right. Commenter 18, 3 after that one.
All right, Wild Bill, baby.
Wild Bill and his hairy legs. Come on down.
Wild Bill's our backup. Wild Bill's our practice squad winner.
That's right.
Right there. So, all right. So, if you can do it, that's great. Let us know if you can't. And I probably should just pick this one the whole time, but that's okay.
In hindsight, now we know.
It's not trivia though; it's shade. So, all right, guys. Let's see. Did we get any confirmation from the?
I have not seen any.
I have not seen.
Oh, Jason says he's also out of state. The winner is out of state.
Dang it! Is Wild Bill? Where's the practice squad?
Wild Bill, suddenly you're called up. Wait, no, sorry, Vanessa. She did comment.
Vanessa, they're yours if you want them, Vanessa.
Right. Speak now.
Vanessa's commenting back and forth Orlando. You can have them.
There's a delay here. Vanessa, are you there? Do you want these? $70 value. Yours for free. If you claim them now.
Yeah.
I hate that there's a delay here. Wild Bill's out of state.
What the hell?
Vanessa, please be in state and want these.
No.
Vanessa's no, we gotta spin again. All right, we're gonna
Spin
find
again.
somebody in the state that wants these because our first 3 spins didn't want them.
Not that they didn't want them, they just couldn't.
Or sorry, they couldn't take them. Commenter number 8. How about number 8? And while you're looking for number 8, I'll go ahead and get a backup for this one.
Daff. On Veterans Day, Daff would be great. Come on, Daff.
Come on, Daff, jump in there. Let us know. And then 8. We already had 18. That's one of the ones we got already.
Daff. What'd you get, Daff?
Commenter 25 is the backup now.
25.
Now we have people in the comments just saying, I'll claim them. Fine, I will take them. No, it's not how it works, I'm afraid. Please, Daff. Daff, if you can hear us.
Sean is the current backup.
Okay.
So we got Daff and Sean.
Let's hear from you.
Oh, geez. Daff's out of state.
Oh, no. All right. Now we know what to fix the next time we do a giveaway here is to specify. All right, Sean, where you at, dog? Spinning for another backup. We're going to get the whole number wheel here eventually. Somebody has to be local of the 28 people.
So
Commenter 13.
did we have 13?
No, we had 12.
Oh, 12. Nick Ewing.
All right, we're looking for Sean and we're looking for Nick. Come on. Are you local? Do you want these?
This is a complete. Vanessa says, "Okay, we have a plan.
Okay.
We have a plan." Jason and Vanessa have gifted them to Ashley. So our first 2, our winner and our backup, are giving them to Ashley.
Sean lives in DC, so Sean
No,
couldn't do it
that's
anyways.
a different Sean.
Oh,
that's just a Sean trying to do. Yeah. So Ashley Gilbert.
The real Sean says he's going to pass as well. So
okay,
Ashley, it is.
Ashley, Facebook message the A to Z page because you're on Facebook.
All right. Well, that went great.
Ashley Gilbert. Hey, it's okay.
I wouldn't change a thing about that.
No, I think it was fun. We got to know, hey, look, we got people working together, and
that's right. We needed to find a home for these tickets, and I'm glad we did.
Because of time, we're skipping our shade. My shade is on all the out-of-state people who participated knowing that they couldn't do that in the first place.
Me too.
All right. Hit that like button, even if you're out of state. Like the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow on a Wednesday. Easton's live tonight for primetime. Working twice on his birthday. How about that? My bad. All right. We'll see you guys later on.